Hello guys, welcome to Connexit live session. So hope you all guys are excited for today's live. I'm super excited as well for today's live. So comment your questions or like your feelings on what you actually felt about the API and HTTP module on the comment section below. And I'm super excited to check like how exactly the API modules work inside Connexit. And also, there is an announcement we made. So the first thing is it possible to connect application like triggers or action if it is not present inside Connexit? If the app is not present inside Connexit, is it possible to connect the triggers or action? So technically for this question, the answer is yes. So more than 60% of application you can able to connect the triggers via webhooks and also like the actions via API. So you know how to do those things. So we will be hearing this from the expertise themselves. So I'm going to call my team live and they will be showing you how you can actually use webhook model and also the API model inside Connexit by adding triggers and action even if the apps are not present inside Connexit. So before that, I will be making an announcement. So as you all know that like we actually have an sales running in AppSumo, and there was a deal on Black Friday and Cyber Monday. So we got a fantastic response from all you guys, and thanks for the response. And the love and support you are showing on our tool. So we got like more than 5 tacos review, 30 plus reviews. All are 5 tacos, and we are super excited for that. And means I would like to announce that like the deal is being closed on Monday. So people are still sending us screenshots. So I think this is the deal has actually ended on Monday. So we are not accepting any kind of a free deal after this. So this is the announcement we have to make it. So the deal actually ended on Monday. So you can still purchase the deal, the plan that is $24 per year on AppSumo. But the offer, what we actually announced on Black Friday and Cyber Monday, is actually ended. So thanks, guys. Thanks for the response for all those 30 plus reviews. So I will not going to make a delay. I will call my team. So let me introduce Naga Kiran. Hi, Naga Kiran. Can you hear me? Hello. So let me check that. So we are waiting for our team. So our team Ashwin as an emergency. So maybe joining us late. So I'll just introduce my team. So that is Ashwin and Nagakiran. So Ashwin is our CTO. So he is actually handling all the technical stuff. So you will be seeing an support icon. So there are a lot of support queries will be answered by Ashwin, and he is the brain of our tool. So he'll be handling a lot of your support queries and also related the answers in technological stuff. And he's a brain behind webhooks. So he's the one who designed the architecture of webhooks. So Ashwin will be, representing webhooks today, and he will be showing you how you can actually add applications via webhooks. So he's joining us late as he has some emergency, so medical emergency. So he will be joining us late. So we have Nagakiran with us. So Nagakiran is our CPO. So he actually manages all the related to the project in the stuff. So any end-to-end project solution is handled by NAC, and all your roadmap queries, the features, and any new apps you can caught hold of NAC, and he's the man behind the technical stuff like API module. So yes, so he'll be explaining and he'll be representing the API structure. So today in the live, and he'll be explaining you how you can actually add apps inside Connexit using an API module. So let's wait for Nayakiran. So we are having some technical stuff. So technical glitch. Sorry for that. So we'll be waiting for Nayakiran. So and to show how we can actually connect the apps inside Connexit. And also guys, please comment us so how you actually like what is that you're thinking on API module inside Connexit, and what is the use cases you want to us to explain. So our team will be explaining you basically the use cases, how you can actually use API module and the generic webhook module inside Connexit. So leave us a comment. So meanwhile, I'll be showing you, how to connect the webhook module. So as Ashwin as an emergency, so I'll be explaining you how actually connect webhook even if the module is not present inside Connexit. How you can actually use Connexit webhook module and connect between apps even if the app is not present inside Connexit. So I'll just share my screen. So hope you all can see the screen. So I'll straight away jump on to create connects. And the thing what I actually mentioning is webhook feature. So this is a generic webhook icon. You can see that even if the apps are not added inside Connexit, so you can drag and drop this generic webhook icon, and you need to copy the URL and paste inside the application. So let me show you. So I'm just using the generic webhook feature. So I will just copy the URL and use any application. So I will consider LeadCart. Even though LeadCart has been integrated inside Connexit, I will show you how you can actually do this. So even if the app is not integrated using a Connexit. You have to go to the funnel and funnel rules. So add webhook. So similar way, so you will be selecting the trigger when the trigger is happening, and you have to select the option as webhook, and you can label the webhook and paste the webhook URL you got from Connexit and select as JSON format. So before clicking on send test payload, so you have to click on capture webhook response. So you can see that. So now I just using general webhook feature inside Connexit. I'm just capturing the webhook response and send the test payload. So this will actually send data to Connexit. So if you go to Connexit inside, so you can able to receive the data. So you can see that guys. So even I'm not selecting any app inside Connexit. So I'm just using the generic webhook feature present inside Connexit to capture the lead from LeadCart. So by this, so I can actually go to any other application now and store my responses. So by this, like you don't need any further apps to integrate inside ConnectSit. So I'll just select as create a spreadsheet row and select the option. So and select the row sheets. And I'll find all these details here. So this is how it will create a record inside Google Sheet. So I'll click on test and review. So now this is my Google Sheet. So you can see that, guys. So data is been added inside Google Sheet. So I just connected all the records like this. So now you don't need a LeadCart app. So I'm just using a generic webbook app. So any application which actually supports webbook features, so you can use those webbook thing. So just you need to copy this webbook URL and paste inside the app. So right now I just pasted inside lead card. So similar way you can paste inside any app which is actually support. Sometimes what is happens is like those application actually ask for whitelisting our domain. In that particular case you can let us know. So how means like if there is any, if you are unable to fetch the data, so that is how we can be help to whitelist our domain. So other than that, like 70% of application you can, which supports webhook, you can use our generic webhook features and to connect and build your workflow as like normal, even if the app is not integrated inside Connexit. So hope you guys like how to connect webhooks. So now I'm going to stop the thing. So this is how you can use generic webhook features and to connect between the app, even if the app is not integrated inside Connexit. So if you guys have any questions on this particular integration, guys, so do let us know. So in the comment section below, so we will be happy to get the same thing. So there is some technical issues, guys. So I cannot able to reach Nagakiran. So I'll just try. Give me a minute or two. So I'll try to get Nagakiran on board. So yeah, guys, we have Ashwin with us. So Ashwin basically, I mean, like old as I was explaining about Ashwin, so he's our CTO, and you all know that support icon, so you will be knowing Ashwin's name, and lot of questions being answered by Ashwin. So any technical questions, so he's the man, and now we will be hearing about webhooks from the man itself. So yes, over to you, Ashwin.
Yeah,
Welcome
guys.
to Connect It Live.
Yeah. Hi, team, and hello, Rakesh and the community.
Uh,
It's good to be live, and this is my first live on Connexit, so really happy to join you.
So we are excited.
So,
We are excited for onboarding you as well, and community is waiting to hear from them. So I was actually showing, how to add webhooks app, even if it is not present inside Connexit. So is it? Do
yeah,
you have
thanks for
something?
thanks for taking that with you. And sorry, I had some emergency, so I had to join a little late. And I saw you live, and you probably gave a good info about the webhooks, how we use it. And there are a few things which I would like to add upon what Rakesh presented. I'll
Yeah, sure.
just
You can go ahead. Means the screen is all yours. So I'm going to share. So they want to listen from your end. So any good insights, so it will be helpful. So over to you, Ashwin.
yeah. Let me just log into the app and share my screen.
Please.
So there are a few things which regarding webhooks,
Ashwin,
which we have also used in.
We are not able to see the screen. So can you able to see share your screen, please?
I'll share the screen. I'll share the screen. Before
Okay.
that, let me just
Okay. Okay.
give some
Fine.
insight.
Okay. Okay.
So we have used webhook in Connexit for 2 to 3 use cases till date. And first thing being, we used an EAP sales module where we launched our EAP plan. We actually generated the coupon codes, and whenever there was a purchase on the funnel, which was created using a lead card, and the coupons were generated using the webhook in Connexit. And there's one more case where our initial before we even launched the EAP plan, we were actually running a campaign to allow users to join the $1 campaign, which we launched after our EAP launch, during our EAP launch. So using viral loops, we were doing that, and even there, we use the webhook and the Connexit to actually transfer whoever joins the campaign into our mailing list. So these are the use cases which we have used the webhook so far. And currently, we are using JSON parser. Let me just log into the app. I'm logging in now. I'll share my screen. Rakesh, let me know when you see my screen.
Yeah. Yeah. We can. So
Yeah.
yes.
So since you already shown how to use the generic webhook, I'm gonna use that same generic webhook to actually capture the data from the viral loops, which we actually used to actually run our campaign during our EAP. So before we even run to that, so most people today in the automation world are aware of webhooks, and we wanted to give that first up to the users. So we launched this generic webhook with our EAP launch, and
So, Ashwin,
yeah.
this sounds lot of technical to me. Can you please, make it simple for our even our users? So, what is this all about? Like, what is webhook? Why what is the difference between generic webhook and the app inside Connexit? So can you please explain that?
Sure. Yeah. So I was saying that, and as we know, in the automation world today, webhook has been a popular term, and it has been evolving. And most of the applications today who are launching their products, and even the products which have been launched earlier, are introducing webhooks in their application. And this has been a breakthrough technology, and most of the products today are having webhooks. So actually, webhook is just a way to let other applications know that there is something happening in your data. So let's say in Viral Loop, I have a webhook. So Viral Loop will let me know that there is something happening here. So previous to webhook, people used to do a lot of other methods to capture the data happening in other applications. There were web crawls, there were polling systems, and it was a little time consuming or also a lot of cost for the applications to actually get that. Let's say, for example, we don't have an webhook, and in Google Sheet we want to know that there is some data changing. So we need to capture the data, we need to hit that Google service, we need to capture the data, we need to analyze what is the difference. And this is a routine thing, and this is actually a lot of time consuming, and also the cost to manage this particular polling system will be high. And we are glad that in this automation world we have webhook, and we are also glad that we could introduce webhook early in the Connexit. So we have coming to Connexit, we have webhook apps and also uh, generic webhook. You can see the apps here. So whatever you see is here are also using webhooks, but these are webhook apps which actually provides you manual instructions to actually go and place your instructions on the different applications. For example, here we already have Viral Loop. So if at all we want to introduce Viral Loop, we just have to use this webhook app and do that. If not, let's say Viral Loop is not here, and if I actually want to use a generic webhook to do that, which actually Rakesh already showed. So I will do that, but I have few details to give be given in the webhook. Let me just do this. When we drag and drop the webhook application, there's something called basic authentication. Here is the API key and secret. Most of the webhooks today do not use this, but there are a few webhooks which actually look for authorization while hitting the server. So if you have that, you can place it here. And let me just capture the data from the Viral Loops campaign, which we previously did. I'll go to integrations. Let me just enable this. Let me just capture where I place a webhook link, and click on capture webhook response. It is data waiting from webhook. Let me just send a test request. Yes, so that was quick. So coming to here, we have a JSON parser. At this point, the webhook actually supports the JSON parsing. And coming to JSON parsing, we have made it easy for the users to actually know how the JSON structure looks. And even without knowing, if there is if you are a technical guy, you know how the JSON works. There is
One question, Ashwin.
yeah.
So what is this funda about? All about JSON parsing means. Do I require a JSON parser? Because like a lot of other automation tool, there is a thing called JSON parser, which
Mhm.
actually counts the number of tasks or operations. So what is why I mean what is that difference from Connexit without using JSON parser? So how it is
Yeah,
help?
I that's a good question. I remember answering this question a few times in the support tickets, and this actually is different in Connexit. We do not need a JSON parser. The whatever app we have, it actually parses the JSON and actually gives the parsed output here in the structure where we use the data to be connected. let's say if I have to show you this JSON, there is a sample JSON here. JSON is a way to transfer data. There is one more thing, XML, which we will be working on and we will be introducing the later stages. And at this point, our all the apps have the inbuilt JSON parser. And once we have received the response here, you don't need something like JSON parser here to actually pass this data. We already have this data passed here, and whatever is inside this user, the first name, last name, email, referral code, and the created ad is already here. And in order to make this easier, we actually give this data passed with the values, and whatever you see here are the keys, and whatever you see here are the values. And this say JSON parser is also enabled in other apps. Let's say you have Rebrandly and you actually hit the test and review. Whatever you get the data and the response, that's a JSON response, will actually be passed and available with a plus icon at the bottom of the app. So probably you would have seen that in a lot of demo videos in the early stages. So the JSON parser is by default. So answering your question, Rakesh, we do not need a JSON parser as a task or an operation to actually pass the JSON. Whatever we get in response is actually passed and shown here.
Okay. Okay,
So
that's cool. That good to hear that like we don't need an additional parser to pass the data. So, guys, so you can just think that like without any additional stuff, so you can actually get the data.
yeah, that actually saves one task on an operation compared to other automation platforms.
Okay.
So to give more insights here, it actually goes nested. If you have nested data here, you also have the arrays starting from array index 0. Unfortunately, I couldn't do that now. I couldn't show you a demo now, but I will. We will actually make a video where how we are passing the arrays, and this actually whatever JSON parser we have, it actually passes the array types and array JSON, and also it actually gives a tree. So let's say there is something else in the user, it will actually give one more thing. So for that, user is able to know whatever details he has here is coming from referrer. And also one more thing I want to show you on this is, let me just connect one more app.
So, guys, any questions? So you can drop us. So you can hear from the team itself. So they are the team behind, like logics or like algorithms behind Webhook. So you can get all these questions answered. So if you have any questions on Webhooks or APIs, just throw away.
Yeah, I actually wanted to show one more thing with the JSON parser we have here. So
Okay.
let's say I want the subject to be the participation, and the user's email to be in the two, and we can use the text formatter to build a customized text to which can go into the body. At this point, I'll just give the user's first name to the body, and when we actually click on collapse, whatever nodes we have connected stays here, and whatever is not connected is available when we actually expand it. So this is one more thing. This is a user, we built this on a user feedback, and this is an improvement which we have made. And we would have seen a lot of other videos on demos on test and review, how test and review works. So coming to the JSON parser, let me just do test and review here. So here, when we did this test and review, we are actually calling Gmail and we are actually sending an email. And whatever response we receive in the JSON format, we would have already passed it. And that is available here in the pop-up. That is actually available when we actually click this on the plus icon. So there's a pop-up here. There's the JSON response we received from Gmail, and it is actually available passed. So again, we don't need a JSON parser here to actually parse the output of Gmail.
Uh,
So this is about the JSON parser and the webhook.
okay, so the question is, what do you mean by the tree structure, or like, one level, two level? Can you brief about the same thing? So
Yeah.
what?
So for that, let me just use this same example. Hope my voice is clear.
Yeah, yeah, it's good, it's good.
So here we actually received this JSON and we actually passed it in the when we did the capture webhook response. So here the JSON looks like this. The actual test JSON which was sent to webhook app looks like this. So this is the main tree, and within that, this user is a key which actually creates one more branch. So user is again a tree here, and there can be nested tree within this. And again, referrer is a key and this is a branch. Most of the devs or somebody who's from the technical background knows about this. And also, if this whole thing comes in an array, then this will become an array of JSON.
So
So our
what
webhook our webhook and the JSON parser actually supports the array of JSON as well.
Okay, so what if I am not a technical person? So do I need to know about all this when
No,
I
no,
am
no.
using
You don't have
Connexit?
to. So you don't have to know that. So when you look here, it actually shows the type is a participation, and there is a user data. And when you expand this, so you can see the first name, that's key, and whatever value is coming there. So this is the first name and the value. So that is actually being passed, and I hope this actually if you don't know what is a JSON, you can actually make out that this is the first name and this is the last name, and you can connect this data to whoever you want.
Yeah, that's pretty simple. So now I have to ask you the biggest question. So can I use, if my application supports webhook, can I add that webhook? So if it is not been integrated inside Connexit, so how I can do that?
No, that's pretty easy, and I think you already answered that question. It is possible, and even if your application is not available as an integration here, you can just use the generic webhook. And if your application supports webhooks, then you can definitely integrate it. Just for example, we are getting a lot of queries on swipe pages integration, and at this point, swipe pages doesn't have the webhooks, and we are in touch with them, and they have updated us that they might roll out these webhooks by the end of December. And as soon as they swipe pages, since they don't have the webhooks at this point, we might not be able to do that integrated even with the generic webhook. But as soon as they launch the webhook, you don't have to wait in Connexit to be the swipe pages to be launched. You can just use the generic webhook and integrate that application.
So is it applicable for all the application, or like, since what is the limit basically? So where I can go wrong if my application supports the webhook, but I cannot able to integrate inside Connexit. So how I can actually go wrong?
No, there's one chance where you can go wrong. Just in case, we did a recent integration which actually required the whitelisting of the domain in their domain in their application. So that's one case where you could go wrong. Even if they support webhook, you won't be able to fetch the data unless we approach the team. So in that case, please just let us know. If you have a contact, it would be great to if you can share it. If not, we will get in touch with them. We will get in touch with the team, and we will actually try to get whatever is possible. And we will try to do the whitelisting part. We will provide all the details required for them to do the whitelisting, and we will help that integration to go live.
Okay, is that means see, I am a user of an application, so I am using an URL and pasting inside another app. So
Hmm.
does that means I am giving an access? So why do it requires a whitelisting? See, if I am already giving a link and
Mhm.
URL, so why it actually requires an like whitelisting?
No, it's just one of the security layer which they want to do. They don't want the data to be going to other applications unless they know what the domains are consuming the data. So it's a business decision they would have made, and there isn't a requirement for such a limits, and but there are few applications who do that, and it might be a business decision, or it might be something related to their own data policy. Just for example, there's one more thing. When you ask this question, there's a very interesting thing which I have to tell to the community. Just for example, we need to have the Google triggers. If we want Google to enable us the triggers, Google actually asks us to do third party verification of the data security, and it also requires the consuming application. Let's say I have a Gmail Google trigger. I capture the data from webhook, and if at all I'm passing that data to 200 applications I have, all the 200 applications in the Connexit integration must have that Google this thing, what we say, third party verification of the data security. So that might be one more case where people want to restrict the data. So suppose I'm a owner of a viral loops and I want to restrict data to applications which can consume the data from viral loops. That might be because of things like this, where Google wants whatever apps which consume that data to be third party authorized. And there are many things like this which can limit some of the apps from actually authorizing accessing the data even when they have webhooks.
So thanks, Ashwin. So that was a good, like a piece of information. Hope you all guys get a good insight of webhooks. And Ashwin will not go anyway, so he will be with us in the complete live session. So if you guys have any other questions, so you can drop on webhooks. So Ashwin will be able to explain that same thing. So now we are going to call the man behind the API part, API module inside Connexit, which is in iDemand. So let's welcome Mr. Nagakiran. So he's our CPO. So hi Nagakiran. So I've given a brief introduction about Nagakiran. So he's the man who is adding, the application, whatever the apps inside the roadmap, and also whatever the features your request you do. So he's handling the complete project. We can say he's our CPO. And guys, you can cut hold of him of any new apps if you want to request for. So Naken, the screen is all yours. So you can go ahead and explain about the API module. So a lot of people are waiting for the same thing. So you can share your screen and you
Yeah.
can.
Hello, Rakesh, and hello, everyone. So this is the first time I'm coming live, so maybe I don't know all these things. So let me share my screen once.
Please. Hope you are not nervous.
A bit. Actually, my network is not good today. That's why.
So
Yeah,
guys,
that.
put in all questions on API module. So
So can
yes,
you guys see my screen?
yes, we can.
Okay. So in Connexit, so we have many features like along with the apps. We have, as you guys have seen, along with 250 plus apps, whatever we have in our board. Uh, with different categories like normal authorized apps, webhook apps, all these things. So along with that, we have built add-on apps. So what we say like this, we have in our workflow, data formatter, number formatter, text formatter. Recently, we have introduced coupon generator, and now we have this API or HTTP module in our application. So what is the use of this application means? For example, any app which supports API, HTTP API, if it is not there inside Connexit, so you can any user who has a limited basic API skills, they can add his application inside our application inside Connexit. So at present now,
So
I'm showing you.
do we require to authorize API application before actually using here?
No, not actually. So for authorized apps, you need to do that one. For API, that module itself will authorize the thing once you add that in create workflow. Okay, so I will show you one example out of which. So at present, you guys can see I am taking an example of one CRM, this one, Wealthbox API. Okay, so here this app supports, this is the API documentation of this Wealthbox API. So it supports API access token method in this way, and
So is
it,
this application already present inside Connexit?
no, Rakesh. See,
Okay,
for example, you can go here. That's what I am showing. Wealthbox API app is not there inside Connexit. So
that's
this
great.
is,
That's it.
you can see webinar and NextWeave is there. Wealthbox is not there. So I am adding this application. This application is CRM, Wealthbox. Okay. So um, here, this is the API documentation of that application. This is their authentication type, and I am just creating a simple thing, a post request, creating a new contact inside Wealthbox API. So this is the thing. So what we have to do to add this non-existing app to connect it. So at present, now I will go to workflow. So left hand app, any app you can choose. I'm taking Silverbot as example now. So I will choose a trigger, new order, test and review. So I have successfully completed the test and review of left hand side app. Now what I have to do, I will add this API app, add-on app. I will select the action. So here now I am creating a new contact inside wealth box. So this is a post action. So I will select post. Okay. So this is the API already added in the cache. It's present actually. So you go here. So you can check the introduction. See here you have the endpoint, and for create contact we have, this is the URL. So after this I need to add headers and params. So here you can find the button, set params, that will actually give you a this one pop up. Here what and all you need to add is, so the required headers and parameters. So you can go here. So for this create contact, you can see in their application first name and last name are the required fields. So other than that, they are supporting for the authentication. You need to use this access token. So the same, I am using access token, content type, and first name and last name. So I will just add these attributes. So you can see those attributes comes in the application. So what I need to do, I need to map the things for the headers and params. So I will do parameter mapping. For the first name, I will give the first name, and last name I will enter some sample last name, and I need to give access token and content type. So in wealth box, you need to get the access token. So I will go to settings. So here I have API access. There you can find the API key. So I will copy and I will go here and I will paste that access token, and application content type is application JSON we need to send. So as usual in Postman, what and all you'll find the same I'm using now, application JSON. So I will do the test and review now. So when I click on test and review, so it's been successful. So in my Wealthbox app, I have created a contact by using the name Jim Barua and sample last name. So now I will go to Wealthbox. I will click on contacts. You can see. So this is the contact. which I created, which means now we didn't had this application in Connexit. Now I simply by using API model and the APIs given by the wealth box, I added the application successfully. So once you publish this, whenever a new order received in triggered in Silverbot, a contact will be created respectively in wealth box. And even you can use the parameters. Can you see here? So I can use the type, for example, and name. I will use these attributes. So you can see I have added these things, dark blue color. Even I can add to the next application. Like for example, I will choose a Gmail app. So I will go for select the account. I will select the action. So I will map the name to body and subject is person, and email I will give my email. So I have received a Gmail. Now I will go to my Gmail. I will refresh. So this Gmail I got from Connexit. So object is person and the value which I received from API module which I connected. Now if you publish this, whenever a Silverbot new order gets triggered, a contact will be created in wealth box and you will get a Gmail. Rakesh, can you hear me?
Yes, 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 Nathan, please go ahead. So you mean that like we don't need to authorize the app, that is first thing, and we don't need that app to be present inside Connexit, so they can able to add actions, right?
Yeah. So for whatever the app which supports HTTP methods API module which has actions, we can directly add. Even though that app is not present in Connexit, you can add that app by using our API module, API or HTTP, the same whatever I use now.
Okay, so means like can you go ahead and edit that connect? So means I just wanted to ask you a couple of questions. So, being like a non-technical guys or like anything. So this sounds more technical for me. Can you make it simple? Can you zoom it a bit?
Okay.
Yeah, can you make it
So when
simple
you ask
about?
the question, Rakesh,
Sorry.
yeah, when you ask that question, Rakesh, this API is purely for. I mean, it helps a lot of people, but people who might actually like this might be somebody who is a techie. I mean, who knows how to use this technology APIs. So, I mean, it's a pretty powerful tool to have in any platform. Just like you have, I mean, the Postman is one of the tool which is being used widely for testing the APIs. So
Okay.
this particular app here is actually giving an interface like Postman, and I mean, it
So
need
as
not
I
be a technical guy.
So as I saw that like webhooks feel like I don't need to use a JSON parser. So it's gives me like very easy kind of an interface where I don't need to be a technical. I just need to copy paste the URL and I get the thing. So here what means like I find it like like means is there any easy way so that I just need to add a username, password, or any trick kind of a thing?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I think Nagaran will answer that question better. But what I felt, which by just looking at it, to be frank, this is the first time I'm looking at the API module working here. I mean, I did see this in the staging, but after being into production, this is the first time I'm looking at the demo. And uh, Actually, this was a pretty cool thing. I mean, if we use Postman to check the APIs, we need to form the. Of course, Postman gives a very good interface for putting the headers and putting the params. And here, I could see the replica of same thing. And by just clicking on set params, I could actually add. Authorizations and whatever, there is a categorization as well. There is an authorization within the set params, and there is also actual params to be going in the body, and this is good. And I think Nakaran, I have few questions to ask. I'll ask that after Rakesh completes his questions on this.
So I would
Sure,
like
sure.
to see means like there is no application means like if it is not present inside Connexit. So can we able to do it? For example, I gonna take webhook on left hand side and API on right hand side. So whether I can add my own triggers and connect between an webhook and an API without if it is not present inside Connexit. So the
Yes, it
triggers
is.
and
It
actions.
is. It is possible, Rakesh. So that is what the thing, powerful tool we have by using the generic webhook, whatever Ashwin has shown you in this demo beginning, and by using this API module for the actions. So even though that app does not exist in Connected, you can add triggers and actions both.
So can we show that, Ashwin? Is that possible by taking this API access token and this thing from Nagaken API module, or else placing an webhook URL?
That would be possible, and I mean, you can just create a new connect then, Nakaran. I'll
Guys,
Yeah.
so what we are going to experience is, so whatever the triggers and actions, if it is not present inside Connexit, you guys can, like that's the title is all about. It's a disruption we are creating in automation. So even if the apps are not present inside Connexit, that means your triggers or actions you could able to connect. So you guys can check how it is being done using generic webhook and API feature inside Connexit.
just can you ping me that URL, Nakaran, in the chat?
The wealth
Copy.
one. This one.
Yes,
Huh?
yes.
Okay.
You can probably
So
use
it's
Messenger. No, you can use
yeah.
Messenger, I guess. Yeah.
Okay.
Now, what we are going to do now is we actually will be hitting the generic webhook from viral loops, and we will be using the API module to send data to the CRM, which Nakaran just demoed. So I will actually hit that webhook URL from viral loop, and Nakaran will get that data, and he will be able to do that.
Yeah. You have to click on capture webhook response, I guess.
Shall I start, Ashin?
Yeah, just a second, Nakaran.
Yeah. Okay.
So Ashwin is basically placing an webhook URL in viral loop probably. So that like we are using generic webhook.
Yes, Nakaran. You can click on capture webhook response.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna send a test request now.
So I'm loving it, guys.
Yeah, the test request. So you got it. I mean, you got the test response. Now you can go ahead and use the API and call your CRM.
Yeah. So now I will take the API, post. So I will take the access token. content type.
So probably we will have to give community the details on what we are doing now, exactly at how we are setting the data. Like you just copied and pasted the access token. This is actually a user-defined value, and we aren't connecting it from the left app. So once you put the access token there, you will be blocking that from being connected from the left app, right? So either there are two ways. I mean,
Yeah.
first thing is user can put it here, or it can be user can drag and drop from the left app. Let's say, for example, you have your access token stored somewhere. Let's say you have it in Google Sheet. So if you can get that data, you can just drag and drop from the Google Sheet to here, and instead of copying it from the application. So there are
Nathan,
different.
can you zoom it more and you minimize this?
Yes, Rakesh.
Do we need to clear the cache or something?
Yeah. Cache issue, Rakesh. I will open this in incognito. Right.
Yeah, that's okay. Means like the idea is, we are actually showing thing is like we could able to connect between webhook and API module. So without actually using, even if it is not present inside Connexit.
Yeah, the same way, whatever we have done in the previous case, like Silphobot to this one, the same way I have connected from webhook to this one. Test
So
and review will
now,
get success and you will get the contact here.
so now any triggers from viral loop, so it automatically, add a values inside the new app.
Yeah, it will add.
Great, great, great. So any other
Oh, that's a
question?
cool thing. And yeah, I do have questions, Nakaran. Can you please go to that interface, the edit connect?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably better if we explain each items we have. Let's say I am selecting a method, get post. So how people should use it. So when should I use get, and when should he use the post?
Probably you can try in
How
Yeah,
incognito
will
the
I?
backend. Try with the
yeah,
incognito mode as well. So there only you can explain those things.
sure. Okay.
Maybe we will try with one more thing. Same URL you can post it. So Ashwin will trigger that. This.
And while Nakaran logs in, there's one more thing I wanted to tell about the JSON parsing. Since I missed it, I actually wanted to tell users about it. And let's say we do have some concerns regarding the bigger JSONs, how we are handling bigger JSONs, because since we have the app tile which is going in the workspace. So if there is a big JSON, it is currently, let's say in case of WooCommerce, it is going out of the screen. We have reported this issue and we are working on it, and we will be making it better. And whatever the bigger JSON comes, we will pick the items and we will show a shorter version of it, and whatever users need will be able to add it by clicking on the plus icon on the app tile.
Yeah,
So this,
that additional attribute kind of thing. The plus icon, and I can select whichever I need. So
yeah,
that's
that's
more.
one usability issue we have right now, where in case of bigger JSON, it is going out of the screen, but it is not breaking the workspace or anything. But it's an improvement which we will be working on. We will be releasing it further.
Ashwin, have sent that webhook URL.
Yes, I will hit the request here. Just a second. You can click on the capture webhook response.
Okay.
So guys, if you have any questions on API module or on webhook module, so do drop us on the comment section. So our team will be happy to help. So this is the biggest thing, guys. Means I am super excited though. So without the triggers or actions, even if it is not present inside Connexit, so you could able to connect it. So
Yes,
this is kind of a disruption.
I don't see
Yes,
your screen,
yes,
but
Yogesh.
I have sent the test request.
So I'll just make it.
Yeah, since I was logged into Viral Loop, I just wanted to send a test request. I mean, Nakiran could do it himself, but since I was already logged in, I just sent the test request there.
So yeah, Ashwin, you are asking some questions on get post. So Narkan, you can go ahead and explain that.
Yeah, so can you see my screen?
Yes, yes, you
Yes.
can minimize that left hand side. This.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here are the same webhook, generic webhook I used, and this is the response we got from Viral Loop. So here we have four basic HTTP methods like get, put, post, delete. So based on the document, for example, if you need to fetch the data, if it is a get API, since my create this thing is post HTTP method, I am using a post HTTP method there in the drop down. If I want like any get thing, get if it is a HTTP method is get, I can use the same get method here. The same way like put and delete. So whatever HTTP method is being mentioned in the required respected API document, the same method you have to do for respective action. So I am choosing the post method, and here in the endpoint URL we need to add the URL. So I go here. So for example, for this create new contact, as we discussed, so this is their main endpoint. Along with that, right. So for create action, create contact, they have, we need to add this one. So after that, you need to click on set params. So it will show you a pop-up. There you need to add headers and parameters. For example, to perform this action, we require normal like content type, first one, and next one we need to have something called access token that has been mentioned in the document. So I will go here and copy the same header name, header key name. Sometimes it is API key, sometimes it is just token, whatever they mention here, you need to copy the same and go to the app and add the key. So our header is completed. When it comes to parameters, so go here for this create contact action. We have all these parameters it is supporting. These are the keys. So, but here first name and last name are the default things. So those things are required, must required thing, mandatory ones, whatever they have mentioned. So I am using the same first name, click on plus, go to the document and copy the same key. So our parameters are ready. So you can see now in the API app, you can see the this one headers. It is having a prefix header, content type, header access token, parameters having the prefix param, first name and last name. So I need to you need to trigger this API, you need to pass the values for the respective things. So for content type, as usual, like we give the value application.json. For example, yeah, as Ashwin mentioned, if that is available in the left hand side trigger value, you can just do connection between the nodes. But here application.json is the value must required, so we don't have that. So that's why I'm just adding content as application JSON. And for access token also, there is no actual data available in the webhook. So for that one also, I am doing a entry from the app. I'm going here, I'm taking the value, So I am entering there. So, but for first name and last name, you can give any value from the left tab. So I am connecting the nodes. So after everything is done, so you need to click on test and review. So it will give the same output whatever we have seen in the last thing. So maybe I'm still facing the cache things. It's not able to trigger properly the test and review. So you will get the data as usual. So any app in the webbook in the left hand side and any app in the RHS as a API thing, you can add and publish the thing.
It's okay, Narkin. Can you please explain, what are all the types of methods as Ashwin is posting you the question? So, can you please explain the same thing?
Yeah,
Regarding HTTP methods,
Navkiran actually already covered it, but to add on to that, that will be defined by the API documentation which we will be referring to. Let's say we are referring to some CRM now, and we have the API, whatever HTTP method which that API should be called with is actually defined in the API documentation. So we should refer to that particular documentation, and we should select the whichever method from this dropdown.
yeah, the same way. Whatever it's mentioned in the doc, you need to do that.
So to add on to that, I coming from my APS experience, there are a few more things. The get is actually used whenever we want to get some data from a particular application, and the
Yeah,
post is where we actually use it when we actually want to send the data to the application. And the post can carry big data. I mean, when I say big data, it can be a large JSON, and the put is for actions like update, and the delete is HTTP method is actually used whenever we want to delete an entry from the target application. And there are n number of HTTP methods, and each method has its own purpose, and that would be defined in the API documentation of any particular application.
yes, the same. Yeah.
Yeah, we have couple of questions. Means, there's one question actually from Shreyas. So this is what it is. So what are the parameters I would need from application to integrate with API? Example, API token, secret key, etc. for on SendFox. So is just mentioning, basically any app. So that is there a specific thing on to particular app, or like how it is exactly?
Yeah, thanks for asking that question. I was just referring to since Reyes asked this question a few days ago, we were actually referring to the SendFox integration to be going live in Connexit. But before that, you can use this API module to actually call the SendFox APIs, and the API documentation of the SendFox says that we need to actually pass an access token in the authorization header. So in that case, we will have to call it as a bearer. We need to actually prefix a bearer and then call the access token. So if you got an account, and if somebody wants to know how to do this, how to set that, we already shown in the demo that the header access token can be added from clicking on set params, and whatever value we want to pass, that will be available in the application which we want to integrate. For example, in SendFox, the access token to be received going to the integrations part of it, and that access token can be passed here to in the header. It should be passed in the header, not in the params. And whatever params we need to set, it actually depends on which API we are going to use.
Okay, so basically you're telling it is specific for the application what we are actually using.
Yeah, most of the APIs today APIs use the access tokens, API keys, the secret keys. So it will be defined by them. The API documentation of any application actually tells us what should be passed in the header for the API to go through. And when I check the SendFox documentation, it actually says that the access token is something which needs to be passed in the header. So here we just have to click on set headers and add a param called access token, and whatever value we need to pass for the access token to be taken from the SendFox integration page, and that access token should be put here for the API for SendFox to go through.
Okay. So now I will be repeating my question again. So can we add any triggers or actions? So with these modules. So and before that, basically, do we need to whitelist our domain again for API module? Nakin or Ashwin, anyone can answer this question. So do we need to whitelist for? Of course, Ashwin answered for webhook. So for API, I'm asking. So do we need to whitelist our domain, or is all the apps will gonna work? For example, if it is supports API key or auth token method, so every app will work, or like do we need to whitelist again?
No whitelist required, Rakesh. So any app that supports this kind of format of API, so that can be added inside our ConnectSet
So
using this API module.
you mean to say apps which supports 100% all apps I can use it, which actually supports API key and auth token?
Yeah, yeah. All apps which supports this kind of format API key, we can add in our application.
That's a quite a good news, guys. I think make a note of that. So we can actually connect all application which will be supported by authorization key and API key based. So using the API module, you can.
Even I Yeah, even I haven't come across an app which actually asks for an whitelisting for hitting their APIs. There might be some internal apps, there might be some hosted apps which might require that. And if at all, again, I want to repeat that if at all your APIs are not going through, you can hit the support and let us know that it's not happening. We will check what is happening. If at all it requires a white labeling, we will do that. We will hotlist our domain, and if at all it is required. But I haven't come across any application till date which actually requires white labeling of the domain for the hitting the APIs, because they are sharing their access token, which is one of the important thing to hit the API. So once we have the access token, any API should go through.
Okay, so now means the question will be back again. So we don't need any app to be integrated inside. So how many apps I can add it?
Infinity is the number you can think about. Uh, but we will help the community to get used to this API module. So, and they don't have to even upvote in plan.connexit.com for an integration once they know how to use this. And any
That's
feedback on this will be really helpful.
So that's a great number or a great news to hear that. So guys, so any number of application which supports webhook and API module, you can able to automate any triggers or any actions. You can able to do that. So Ashwin and Nakin, so if I find it, so how can I do that? Means, is there any tutorials or any kind of a thing? So how can I do that actually? If I have get any, if I stuck between connecting this application, so what should I do?
Yeah, we can make tutorial videos and we can give to our community users based on different cases of apps, API apps. Same
Any
way for webhooks.
So any quicker method I can able to, like if I stuck between connecting the apps, I can able to do that. So Ashwin,
Sorry, Rakesh, I couldn't get your first question. Were you asking about tutorials for using this?
No, if I stuck when I connecting the apps, so if I stuck between in middle, so what is
Mhm.
the quickest method to like, is there any trick to resolve that, or like, how could I do that while connecting between the
Yeah,
apps?
I mean, you should actually click our support button and let us know the API which you are trying to do. You will have to actually give us the access token which you will be trying, and we will be using our development tools also to hit that. And if at all, if it's an application level issue, we will resolve it there itself. Let's say you're not setting the headers properly. Let's say you're not setting the params properly, and there are some error handling. I mean, we are not know because the number of APIs which can be integrated with this module is, I mean, there is no limit on that. So we will not be aware of all the API behaviors. So if at all there is an API which you are stuck, please get back to us and with the hit the chat support, and we will be there to help you to understand what is happening with that API and get it going. Our main motto is to get that API go through. So there might be issues, there might be some APIs which has validation issues, some API token issues, origin issues. uh, there can be issues, but it's not an app level issue, it's not a tool level issue. It's basically it there might be some changes which might be required, and we'll be happy to help you with that. And let's roll out some videos heading this. So there were actually some requests. Somebody wanted to get the distance using the geolocations. Let's find some API which actually provides the geolocations, and let's roll out some user videos so people get aware. The users, allowed users, you get used to it, and anytime, anywhere it is stuck, we are there. We'll be there to help them.
So great, 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 guys. So I think you make a best use of API feature and webhook feature, generic webhook feature inside Connexit. So it will definitely make your use cases more robust and powerful. So you can able to achieve lot more things using these features. And if you guys have any questions, so at any time, so you can drop us to our support team, and all our technical team, our community has been very active, and you all guys now know the who to catch when you have actually add a new app, or like when you actually stuck between the apps. So you means you can just raise a question, and our team will be happy to be there now and then.
We
So
are, we are just the face of the team, and thanks Rakesh for leading this. And there's a good team behind us, and they have been very helpful in meeting the customer requests. And so far, we have given our best to roll out the integrations, the features, and there's a lot more in the roadmap which we have to do. And this is, I mean, I'm liking it.
So thank you guys, thank you for part of this live. And before you wrap up, so like any things you would like to say, and any things to like any things to reveal on terms of features or conditions, like features or any new thing.
Uh,
You
there are
surprise
a few more
you
things. No, there's one more thing I've actually wanted to tell
to
the
see.
users.
Yeah.
Uh, it's something related to the Google Apps, and there are few users who are not able to authorize the Google Sheets. They are not able to authorize the Google Sheets account. So I wanted to tell the reason behind that. We have rolled out few features, and which actually requires a lot more scopes to be added to the Google account. And Google has this policy that they will only authorize those scopes only after looking at the features on live. So the features are already live, and Google has received our application, and we are in constant touch with them to get those scopes authorized. And once they are authorized it, the features will which are already live will be able to be people will be able to use it. And coming to Facebook ad leads, again, we are waiting for an approval from the Google Facebook. And as soon as we receive that, the feature is already almost ready, and it is going live. And there are a few more features coming up. The condition is expected to
Ashwin, I think we lost you.
Maybe network
Okay.
issues, Rakesh.
Okay. Okay. So means like guys, yes, Ashwin was explaining about the features, and I am super excited about the same thing. So we are going to, like a lot of features. We will be waiting for to roll out forms or like Google Sheets, and like a lot of as we are waiting for approval. Ashwin was mentioning about and means lot of Google Suits apps. So keep supporting us, and lot to wait in future. So there is a lot of features to roll out. Thank you guys. And Naken, anything else you want to tell to the community? Anything you want to
Yeah,
reveal?
like more and more features and apps are coming to the platform. So whatever the user request made in the our plan.connexit.com regard based on the reports, as well as the this one, whatever the app request we got from the community in support, those apps we are making in the pipeline and priority to make it release as soon as possible, along with pretty exciting features like these things: conditions, formatters, API module, coupon generator. Many inbuilt apps are coming soon. Along with that, premium apps like Google Apps, G Suite, FB, Zoho, all are coming soon. Probably our users, whatever they spent, will be very worthy. They will feel that in future.
Super excited, guys. So Ashwin, so before we wrap up, anything else you want to let the team know, community knows?
No, sorry, I just lost the live connection and I'm back. And I was saying
Yeah,
you.
we were Naken was explaining about what are the features and apps we will be rolling out soon.
Yeah, yeah, if he has already done that, and that's it. I wanted to tell, and yeah, we are done that.
Okay, thank you guys. Thanks for your time. I think you all heard about from the expert itself. So if you guys have any questions, as we told, like you can drop us on support about this webbooks and API integration. Thank you guys. Have a great day.
Yeah,
Yeah,
cheers.
thank you.
Yeah, bye.
Bye.